Hello and welcome to a different type of video today. I'm going to be showing you the Prime 2D demo, which released about 3 days ago. And just sort of showing you the project. Before I show you the game, I want to talk a little bit about what it actually is and like development behind it, I guess. If you want to skip this, I'll put like the YouTube thing so you can just skip to the game. So basically, this is a fan project which has been worked on and off for about 18 years actually, which is interesting because essentially the first few, like the project kind of began in early 2000s and it's had various reboots, like many of these projects. With fan games, it's very difficult for them to keep any kind of momentum going. And it's had several demos in the past, mostly in Game Maker. I think they're all in Game Maker actually. But then in 2017, someone called Troid92 has more or less completely done a complete overhaul of the engine. Not in Game Maker, but in a custom engine called Net Mission Engine. What's impressive about that is that it's completely like its own thing. It's not based in Unity or Game Maker or anything like that. And I'm sorry if this is like a really simple understanding of it, but essentially the game is more or less completely custom in that regard. It features like completely like no tile sets. All the environments are like hand drawn, and I can tell you like from working on it that that's probably why it's taken so long for this demo to come out, along with various like programming and sound effects that had to go along with it. But working on this has been very interesting, and I'm very grateful to have had the opportunity to work on this demo, and hopefully many demos to come. The project right now, like, it's doing really well. Like, I'm surprised at how positive the reception has been, because I know that this community can be harsh, like, you know. But anyway, back to the demo. You should download it, by the way. Sorry, this video is like not very good, but you should definitely like download it. This is something that has been worked on. This demo in particular has been worked on for about the last 4 years. It was kind of announced, I guess, like the reboot was announced with this trailer, which you can find on the Team SCU channel in 2017. And pretty much onwards from there, it's like kind of just grown into this thing with like various team members who've been on and off the project. But the main team has kind of remained. And working with them, they're very like dedicated to making something like for the fans to really enjoy. So I really hope you like the demo, and again, like definitely go ahead and check it out if you haven't already, and you know, download it. One other thing I want to talk about. Oh, I already said it. But one other thing I want to talk about is the future of the project. Now I can't talk for the other team members, but it's looking pretty good, I think. In terms of like what they're capable of and what I'd like to help with, I think we definitely are set to like continue making progress on this. And you know, it's just been really great seeing all the feedback from people. Working on this has been just genuinely like pretty fun. It's difficult work, especially when you consider that it's all unpaid. It's completely non-profit. No one's making anything off of it. So making things like this is genuinely just out of like just wanting to create something for people to enjoy. And I think in that way it's like very authentic where it's coming from. So yeah, you should download it. Also, yeah, if you want to hear more from the other team members, it's very likely that we will be doing a podcast on the other channel, which you should subscribe to. But anyway, I'll stop talking now and we'll play the game. By the way, currently the demo only really runs on, well, there's been mixed like reception with like playing on Linux and Mac OS with emulation, or like Wine or whatever it is. Sorry, I don't know much about that sort of stuff, but it runs on Windows, and you can Windows 10 64-bit, and unfortunately we didn't really have time to test another operating systems because we had to rush to get the demo out on time. As you can see, there's various lighting effects and environmental effects. Every time I play this, I just think about the like work put into sound effects, because I know that stuff is like insanely difficult to do. Like the general, another thing I found really interesting about the project, initially as an outsider coming in, was that was really cool by the way. These are like various like Easter eggs we need to go and find, by the way. So beyond the like demo itself, there's so much to do. There's so much to discover in this little world created. If you take a look at the logbook, there's lots to scan, there's lots to find. Also, something that was added is so if you're like next to a door and like it can be really annoying to have to turn the mouse all the way to shoot the door, and you aim towards it, it will just automatically shoot at the door for you, which I think is useful. But presumably when the menu is more complete, that will be something that you can toggle on and off. And as you can see, all of the environments are like entirely hand-drawn. There's no tile sets or anything like that. Every room is its own image, more or less. When making like graphics for this, what was interesting is the stylistic difference between this and some of the other games in the franchise. Zero Mission has more of a like simplified, to an extent, cartoony style, and this kind of emulates that. But the lighting effects and I think the way that things are presented gives it more of like the same like darkness and like grittiness that Super had. As you see, that there's like so much to scan, so much to find. I think there's like an artifact here that you can do, but I'm admittedly not too well versed in the finding of all 12 artifacts. It's a fun Easter egg on there, to be honest. And as for the feedback that we've been receiving, most has been like overwhelmingly positive, but then of course there's like just a couple people who are like, you know, this is just like there's always a few people like that, you know. But it's just something you got to deal with. Morph ball. So I don't know if you can tell, but like there's a lot of frames there. As with 360 aim, I've heard like as like overwhelmingly positive about that as well, but there's also, to an extent, like of course people are gonna
it's something that you kind of need to get used to, especially if you're just coming off of like Zero Mission. But I think since we're like it's a Prime remake, of course it's kind of necessary for it to have 360 aim. Can you see the reflections in these mirrors? What we used to do in the team was, since I was a newcomer to the project, every time we had a new team demo, I would play through it and stream it to the other members, and I just give my general feedback on some of the like things that like were like stood out to me, and things that I thought could be changed. And like working like that was just a lot of fun. Development for this game is genuinely one of the most like interesting experiences for me personally. But anyways, these wasps are like just so irritating. I think when people play a game, they kind of forget about how many different... So yeah, as I was saying yesterday, basically, the point I was trying to make is that, like in a game, there's a lot of small details which kind of add to making like a more realistic, or like a more believable environment. It's like, especially with sound, like I think people don't really realize how many different like little sound effects are needed to make something sound right. Like for example, in this room, you can kind of see it with you hear how the terrain is different, like with the metal boxes in comparison to this ground. Like the walking sound is different. And yeah, things like that. Like even just having that little box move when you walk next to it, like it just adds to the it just makes everything feel more like it should. And that's like reflected in the art style as well, and the environment like effects. I'm probably gonna die on this boss, by the way. I'm not very good at this game. Some of the team demos, you were able to shoot the wasps while they were like mid-air, like when they're up here, like hovering. So I'm really used to just doing that. But it makes more sense that you can shoot them when they're just flying around. This boss fight has like changed like a lot through development. Oh, maybe not a lot, but like the small changes like add up. Yeah. Also, this animation is hand done. It's not like it's not 3D model, which is kind of insane. Like Metroid Zapper is like mad for animating. I was watching a different gameplay of someone else playing this game, and like they spam the mouse button so fast. Like I don't get how anyone could do that. I guess it's just like a gamer thing. Okay, with the health pickups, there's some that are like much rarer than others, and you should scan them when you can. And the yellow one and the red one. it was really interesting watching people try and 100% the game and like find all of the hidden artifacts and different like secrets, because there's a lot of extra stuff like beyond just this boss fight. Basically, there's items to find, there's riddles to solve, and there's a lot of other hidden stuff. I won't spoil it though, but yeah, trying to 100% the game is a lot of fun. Here's a little fusion throwback. So I have something to confess. I've never played Prime. Like, for me, this is kind of my experience with Prime is this game. I really should play Prime. So at this point in the demo, if you go to the purple light, it will show you the credits, and you can continue playing after that. So don't worry. Yeah, at this point, it's kind of an Easter egg hunt, and like anyone who's managed to find all of the like 100% of the game, like well done, because there's a lot of really obscure stuff. I'm just gonna run off back to the. These aren't done yet. Like, yeah. There's so much to scan and just so much to do in this demo. I'm just gonna run back to the overworld area, and then I'll just probably end it there, to be honest. Taking the hits. What's really interesting is oh yeah, something I want to talk about. If you're interested in joining the project, I don't know if I already mentioned this, but we're mainly looking for people who can do sound effects and like graphics right now. And if you're interested in that, and if you have some experience in that, then definitely join the server and ask. What happened for me was, well, I've been doing like fan game stuff and pixel art for a few years now, and I asked one of the animators, Metroid Zapper, the only animator I think actually, about maybe joining the project, and he said, and then I was essentially sent like an assignment to do, and just to see how well I could match the style. Oh, I forgot to get the morphable. And yeah, essentially that's just to test like how, like where you are, and if you think you can make stuff like this, then like definitely ask, because you know, the more people, to an extent, the more people we can get, the faster development can go. Obviously there are complications in adding more people to the team, but I think for the most part it's a positive thing. So. Yeah. So be sure to download it and, you know, enjoy the project, I hope, and join the server if you want to ask any questions. And if we do like any like dev interviews or something, which I want to, like, I kind of have some questions for the core people as well. Like, yeah, like come to the Discord and ask. That's more or less it. This video sucks.
To Mars, and we
You want to go?
if we went to Mars and we had the ability
to Mars? I just booked a flight.
Shut up. Okay. But seriously, if we could go to Mars and we could